you could be the most chill dude. You could be a guy that's monogamous. You could be a guy that actually wants to get married. By by you being fit and sexually attractive, most women are just going to automatically assume that, hey, he's a player, he must have a lot of chicks, right? And like I said, you could not even be that type of guy. You could actually disdain that type of lifestyle. You could disdain whole having rotations and plates and dishes and pots and pans and spinning hoes on a plate, all that stuff. You could actually have disdain for that, but they're still going to look at you like you are a quote unquote player. And I'm going to get into this. This is Tarik Talks. You guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and you're not the type of guy that spins hoes on plates and dishes and fine china. You're just a chill dude. You're just a regular guy. But by you being sexually attractive, first of all, you're not very common. You're kind of rare. Most of guys out here are, out of shape. And this is what women see. This is the type of guy that's 9 times out of 10 sliding in a chick's DM. Usually out of shape as hell, usually unattractive, usually doesn't have too many options. So they get this kind of skewed perception about most guys. This is why coming in interactions with women, a lot of women just think guys are beneath them off rip because of the type of guys they always steady deal with. But you being sexually attractive and fit, and yes, those things a lot of times, not every single time, go hand in hand. We know this by now. It adds to your sex appeal. Okay. So these two things go hand in hand. Yes, there are some fit guys that have no personality and that are lame. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the chosen few. I'm talking about the vast majority, right? So she's going to automatically have it in her head that you're some type of a-hole. And this is not limited to women. This is also goes to other guys, right? When you get in a lot of men's vicinity, they're automatically not gonna like you from a man's standpoint. They're gonna think that you are a a-hole, right? They're gonna see you as somewhat of a threat, even though you could not be, even though you could be harmless deep down inside. They're looking at you and they're like, okay, this guy might pose as a threat. Their lizard brain, their monkey brain, whatever you want to call it, it kicks in, and you could just be walking. You could just be strolling out and about, buying groceries, buying your ground turkey and your ground chicken like a good gym boy, like a good little gym boy. And you might just be walking and someone might see you and be like, okay, this guy is a threat. That's that lizard brain kind of coming into play. It's a survival instinct. Well, with women, it's kind of like they see you in a manner of he's going to be an a-hole. He's going to be a challenge. Just because you are fit, you're not very common, because there's direct correlation, right? So let me explain it to you. If there was no direct correlation between being fit and sexually attractive, then women wouldn't just automatically think that without you even saying a word, right? That just goes to show you that there is a direct correlation between being physically fit and sexual attraction. There's a biological connection there. There's a biological inference or hardwire there that we have, that when we see a person that is in shape, we're going to think sex appeal and also, like I stated earlier, danger, right? All in one. And the thing with looking like you're dangerous, or not even dangerous, looking like you're strong, is very attractive to women. Obviously, we know that. So off rip, they're going to assume you have a lot of chicks. And hey, sometimes you might, because when you start getting in shape, all of a sudden you're going to start having more options than you ever did. You're going to start seeing that your dating life or your attraction, blah, 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 is going to start increasing. And hell, a lot of guys, let's just be honest, are going to take advantage of that, because they might have been out of shape before, but now they're starting to see like, okay, chicks aren't as innocent and, oh, I care about the personality bullshit as I thought. They're actually pretty damn raunchy, and they actually are just as thirsty as men, but we don't really see that too much because, like I said, there is a shortage of guys out there that are fit and sexually attractive. So that's why when I make a lot of these videos, a lot of people get in a comment section and scoff, or they're laughing. They're like, man, if you don't get your, like, man, get out of here with that BS. Of course, they're going to say that because they don't see this too much. The main thing that they see is guys simping over females. Let's just be quite frank. They see guys thirsting over females, and they see guys complaining about how females are 304s like 90% of the time. So what I'm talking about now, someone is going to be like, oh, that's BS, because you don't see that too much, because women are thirsty as hell, get thirsty as hell for fit, sexually attractive men. And there's not much of those around. She is going to be, if she is with that guy, if she's dealing with that guy, all of a sudden she's going to be thinking in her head, man, this guy is sexually attractive and he's fit. If I thought he was very good looking, I know other chicks think that he's good looking. And that's the thing. A lot of these channels talk about pre-selection, being a fit guy that has his stuff together, that has a decent face, a decent haircut, has charisma. You dig what I'm saying? That is going to increase that quote unquote pre-selection, because I kind of imagine it. I kind of find it very hard that a woman would look at a guy that is 50 pounds overweight with, I'm not even trying to be funny, with a double chin and a thirst problem. And when I say thirst problem, I mean he's texting her every 10 minutes saying, good morning, beautiful. Are you there? Are you still there? Like a damn Netflix show. I kind of find it hard for a woman to find that guy pre-selected. There's nothing that he's pre-selected for real, except pre-selected to get rejected a lot of the times. So with a sexually attractive fit guy, she's going to be like, yeah, for sure. This guy is different. When you start building that physique, when you start building that sexual attractiveness, all of a sudden you start building traits that kind of go along with it. Now you're kind of being more nonchalant. There's a lot of talk about this nonchalance thing in the dating community. Being fit and getting your sex appeal up is going to give you that natural nonchalance. Okay, now you're being nonchalant. Not saying that some guys that are big and buff aren't thirsty. Let's get that out the way before someone says it. I'll say it for you. But a lot of times, now you're nonchalant. Now she's going to be like, dang, why is he so slow to answer? Why the hell am I hitting him up first so much? Because trust me, fellas, if you are sexually fit and attractive, she's going to be hitting you up a lot of the times. She is, it's like kind of like the roles reverse. She is going to, you know what I mean? She's going to be the one hitting you up. She's going to be the one calling you a shit ton, not the other way around. You're not going to be the one chasing after her. Not saying that she's going to be chasing after you, but she's going to notice like, damn, you know what? I've been hitting this guy up a shit ton. And a lot of them are going to start noticing. They're going to be like, damn, you know what? I've been the main one calling him and texting him like 90% of the time. You dig what I'm saying? He barely does it. He just be sitting back, and this is not normal. Most of the guys, 99.5% of the guys that I deal with are hitting me up a billion times. So he must be with other chicks. He must be hitting other chicks up. And this is where a lot of that stalking and all that crap comes from. She's going to start watching all of your stories. Like I said, the roles are reversed. The stuff that I'm saying, a lot of times just the guy doing that, stalking Snapchats and IGs and Facebook and all that bullshit. Now she's doing that shit. Now she's stalking your stories, stalking your IG, trying to find out where you are. You could just be chilling, and you being a guy that is on his fitness stuff and discipline, you could just be working out, or you could just be, I don't know, meditating or journaling, whatever the hell, fucking knitting a sweater. You got other stuff going on because you're disciplined. With discipline comes other things along with it. So with that, she's going to be like, okay, this dude is a little too nonchalant for me. See, you can't just be nonchalant and just not have the sex appeal to go with it. She's not going to give a crap, because most guys that have dad bods or that are sloppy looking, or, they're black in the charisma department and have no S appeal, she's not going to care if he's nonchalant. And a lot of times the guy is not nonchalant. Like I stated earlier, he's going to be the main one hitting her up. He's going to be the main one trying to find out where she's at. He's going to be the one initiating all of the contact. he's going to be initiating all of the questions like, hey, when am I going to see you? When the guy is sexually attractive and fit, she's going to be initiating that a lot of the times. Hey, what are we doing? Or you want to do something? And in her head, like I said, a lot of chicks are just used to being catered to, are used to guys kissing her ass. So now she's like, you know what? If I'm doing all of this, he must be getting that kind of attention elsewhere. He must be getting other chicks. And hey, look, a lot of times the dudes that do the most well with females are guys that are fit and sexually attractive. Look, when you go to exotic dance places and stuff, when these chicks go to these exotic dance spots and they hire male escorts, those guys are always fit. The women are paying them. See? So if you still doubt the stuff about physical sex appeal, all you need to do is ask these chicks what type of guy they hired for a bachelorette party. Ask these chicks if, they had an escort before, or if they hired a guy to come to a private party, and we all know the kind of crap that goes on there. I swear to you, it's not a guy that's 50 pounds overweight with a hunchback and all that crap like that. It's usually a guy who the whole group wants that guy to pipe them. So she's going to automatically start thinking that about you. Okay? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.